Hey kids, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I'm continuing my series on isolated vocal tracks. Next up is Dan McCafferty. The band is Nazareth. The song is called Love Hurts, and I just want to dive right into it. Here we go. Love hurts.
Love hurts. Love scars. Love wounds. And bars in your heart. Not tough or strong enough.
Now, I have to say, straight out of the gate, his voice makes you feel like love hurts already. So whatever he's going to sing, I believe, right? So it's pretty cool. Now, back then, there weren't a lot of vocalists that had that kind of distorted tone. Yes, there's a guy named Ian Lloyd. I don't know if you guys remember band The Stories, but Louie, 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 Louie. Right? Look him up. Ian Lloyd was a singer. I think this is his name. The band's called The Stories. The song's called Brother Louie. Look it up. But there was a few guys, Joe Cocker, some guys, obviously Rod Stewart, that had, kind of a nice distorted tone like this. But his was really intense, and he sang really high. This is not an easy song to sing, let me tell you. And so it gives such a crazy tension and dynamic to it when he's singing to it, and he even goes higher in a minute. But it's really interesting. Now, you wouldn't really notice all of this, like if I just played,
Love hurts. Love scars.
But when you bip in the music really quick, it gives a whole different psychedelic early 70s vibe.
Love hurts. Love scars.
You know what I mean? It just has a whole awesome different flavor to it. So let's continue from here. Here we go.
Or strong enough to take a lot of pain. Take a lot of pain. Love is like a cloud of the light rain. Love hurts.
I just think that's really cool. These guys were pioneers of this stuff, gang. And I know other people have come along later, but even down to adding like these, right? Kind of a gospel-y thing in the background. And again, Joe Cocker did a fair amount of this too. There, it was kind of introduced maybe early on, the Beatles and so forth. But I bring it up because actually they didn't really do any gospel-y stuff, but whatever. So you get into this whole era where everyone was competing for uniqueness, yet they all had a lot of musical virtuosity. And so they're all vying for these different spots of great songwriting and all this different stuff. And I'm really not seeing a lot of that these days of people really aspiring towards this kind of greatness. But anyway, let's continue. Here's the next phrase. There.
I'm young.
I'm young! It's just got that tone. You know what I mean? It's cool. Now, as strange as this is going to sound, I just want to bring it up. Can't you kind of hear a little cross between Bon Scott and maybe Brian Johnson in some of this too? They were back around this time too, maybe a little later, right in this era. But listen closely to some of the distortion and some of that real broad into the front of the face kind of sound. Check this out. Listen closely. You might not have even thought about this, but check it out. Right? Back in black, hit the sack, right? Or you shook me all night long, right?
I learned from you. I really learned a lot.
That sounds so melodramatic. I really learned a lot. Listen to this, how cool this is. But you can, his is a little more musical and melodic and sing-songy, sing-along compared to like a Brian Johnson or whatever. But there's a similarity. Do you guys hear that? Here we go.
From you, I really learned a lot. Really learned a lot. Love is like a flame. It burns you when it's hot. Love hurts.
And I kind of wonder if the inspiration for the song Love Stinks wasn't kind of inspired by this song, because this song is, it's, hey man, you guys talked me in that love is good, and it's not, it's this and it's that, it's everything else, but I was tricked. Anyway, here we go. All right, next, here we go. This part is really cool. Check this out.
Some fools think of happiness, blissfulness, togetherness. Some fools fool and slip on gas. They're not fooling me. I know it isn't true. I know it isn't true. Love is just a lie made to make you blue. Love hurt.
Now, the other thing I think is interesting is with that much force in the throat and that much distortion, you'd kind of expect him to be a little bit out of pitch, right? This is way before auto-tune, thank goodness. And so he's got some flats and sharps in ways that bring tension, but nothing that's like out of pitch, right? So, he's spot on in his pitch, even though he's singing really high and really throaty, right? So that's really cool. Let's move here towards the end. There's the ooh, ooh, love hurts, ooh, ooh, love hurts, and then there's this one more of these parts here. All right, check it out.
I know it isn't true. I know it isn't true. Love is just a lie made to make you blue. Love hurts.
By the way, another person that you could even kind of take a listen to this too, and again, I'm not trying to draw a lot of comparisons here, but think about Axl Rose when you think about this. Now, Axl's a little more whiny and is a little more wiry sounding, but take a listen closely and think of Axl Rose here for a second if he were to do this. Check it out.
I know it isn't true. I know it isn't true. Love is just a lie
Right?
made to make you blue.
May you, love is just a lie. May you do, love hurts. Right? He's got that just in really high place, kind of really thin, wiry tone of like a buzzsaw kind of sound, but pretty cool, man.
Love hurts.
Of course, the grand finale. Anyway, gang, I have quite a few more of these. I'm trying to pick the best ones I can find, or the best ones I can. I'm actually having someone extract these for me now, so I can pick and choose my own. But hopefully you're enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying showing you guys, and definitely stick around for my next video.